Welcome to Tea with TLC. Grab a cup and sit down with me. We're here to talk to someone nice, and it's all going to be a surprise. The things they say about love, faith, and trust, things that are meant just for us. I hope you'll join me in sacred space. I'd love to see your smiling face. Thank you for joining me for this very first episode of Tea at TLC's. And I have to admit, I'm recording this little intro after I did the channeling with Princess Diana. And let me tell you, I'm putting this out there anyway. I'm just giving you a heads up. The background noise that happens in this video is like... The perfectionist in me is absolutely in tears over the background noise in this audio because the message is so good. So I recorded this by a window because I really should have just come outside and recorded it, which is where I do my best recordings. But I didn't. I recorded it in my studio and outside the window that I had open because I was like, maybe if I open the window, I'll get better sound. So I forget that there's these air conditioning units kind of outside the window, and one came on and then both of them came on, and I always preview these before I put them out there. And I was like, you guys are really, I just told Spirit, I'm like, you guys are really testing me here because this is so, her message is so good, and this sounds, it doesn't sound awful, like you can still hear me and all that, but oh my gosh, I was so upset. So just know that I know that it's obviously not the quality that I would expect from myself, but I'm not going to not put her message out there because, like I said, it's just so good. And I really connected with her. Like, she really is a soul sister. Like, I could have just, the things that she said she wanted to do, like just go build a little hut in the little cabin in the woods or whatever. Like, I could have totally have done that. So I just wanted to share this intro about kind of the backstory of what happened during the recording. So, you know, that you realize and you know that I'm here to do quality work. That is just part of who I am. I'm a professional. I do this work professionally, but I don't want to be boxed into like some studio recorded thing where there's absolutely no sound. So that's going to get better. That's going to improve. So just focus on her message as best you can and, eliminate any judgment per se about, how it sounds. Let's just put it that way. And I hope you do all enjoy her message. So I thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you again soon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Tea at TLC's. This is our very first episode with Princess Diana. And, I really debated. I really debated. So before we kind of just jump right into that, these are kind of spin-offs of TLC for the Soul podcast. And I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. And I've actually started this many times and just never kind of followed through with it for whatever reason. And one of my very older recordings is with Freddie Mercury, and I'm going to put that in this playlist too. And I mean, the name of the podcast doesn't really matter. The fun part is that I sit down with some soul friends and soul family that I have been wanting to talk to for a while, and I know that some of you are interested in hearing from as well. And in those conversations, I just let them choose what they want to bring through. So why don't you get yourself into a space of receptivity? And I think I talk about this in all my channelings and recordings and storytellings. Is you decide how you want to listen to this story. It's not even a story. I'm sorry to call it a story. You decide how you want to listen to this. Do you just want to, hear it for the sake of hearing what, in this case, Diana has to say? or, and do you want to invite in your spirit guides and your team, your angels, whoever you work with, getting yourself into sacred space as well, and use this as more of like a meditative little experience where you can, see what messages or visions or things that you might get. Maybe Diana, even comes to you personally and shares some information. You can have that experience. You can have you can set the intention to have the experience of just listening to my voice, and it's intentional or unintentional ASMR. I'm not really trying to be. It's just how it comes out. Sometimes there's things around me that cause, little sounds. Like I'm gonna have to reach over here and grab something. Hold on. Okay. So grab my little water bottle that always makes sounds. And usually as I'm preparing for these episodes, especially as I'm channeling, people, they always have me start grabbing or getting things in order before I sit down. And in this case, as you're getting yourself comfortable and settled in and setting your intention, in this case, Diana has had me grab some a little tiny amethyst cluster that I have, a little blue, it's really cute blue spirit quartz, and a clear quartz, I don't know what this really is, a baby wand, a clear quartz baby wand. And she also had me bring in these oracle cards. So, my gosh, I'm gonna not call, I never can remember the name of this deck. It has a crown on it. It's like a self-care deck or whatever, and it has a crown, and I'll post the what it is, give credit to it. But she asked me to bring this deck in as well. This doesn't matter if you're male or female or whatever, whoever you are listening to this, this is all about finding joy, and I am recording this in December, right before the holidays, in 2020, which has been a very trying year. So let me just make sure all of our guides are here. I'm going to call in your guides if you want to work with them. I'm calling in mine. And of course, Diana has just been waiting patiently for the past, oh my gosh, when did she come through? 2 or 3 days ago. And I sat down with her and we just made the little thumbnail pictures. It's usually for me, what gets me started is to set the vision before I do the recording or the story or the book. So I always make a book cover first, or in this case I made the little thumbnails for the YouTube and the podcast and all that. And it's just sets the vision of helping it manifest. So Diana doesn't even need to be called. She's been around. She came to me too. It wasn't even that she came to me because someone in the spirit realm, someone who I talk to every day, said, I bought you, or I didn't buy you, but I'm gifting you a Princess Diana rose. And I'm like, there's such a thing? Oh my word, because I love roses. And there's such a thing as a Princess Diana rose. And so I looked at that, and I thought about Diana, and I thought about just the few other times that I had talked to her in the past through the ethers. And we never really had a very long conversation about anything. So I thought it would be fun to just let her come through, and and before we start, everybody there's a lot of videos out there where people channel the same people that I'm channeling. So it's nothing new. But the messages are different because the conduit is different, right? We're all unique. Oh, now there goes outside noise. Sorry, that's loud. We're all unique. We all have our own soul signature and frequency. And so the messages that we receive from these beings of light are going to be what we need to hear in this now as well. Based on our frequency, if we're higher frequency, we might receive a higher frequency, higher message, more, help me guys, more divinely inspired message than somebody who's maybe not as high of a frequency. So it's not to say that anyone is better or worse, but it's just the people that hear this message is coming through because it's what you need to hear most in this now. And chances are, if you're listening to this, you're pretty high vibe as well. And so you need a high vibe message, not just like a mediumship reading from Princess Diana. Okay. So let me just see how she wants to do this. Okay, so she's going to speak through me a little bit. So finding joy is most appropriate in this now, especially for those of you who are having trouble hearing your own spirit guides and your own spirit family, who are there just an arm's length away, wanting to share with you just how much you are loved and supported, and just how much the essence of joy is available to you at all times, 24/7, if you want to allow it. And it's very special for me to connect with people who love to work with family themes, who love to work with children and animals and things that are important to the natural world, such as trees and plants and flowers, and anything to have to do with honoring our beautiful planet. Those are the people that most respond to my high frequency and my high vibration, because I really am here to share as much love from my heart as I can. And oftentimes when there are children or animals around, that raises the vibe and the frequency even higher and higher. And there's so many of you out there now who, through this channel, through this message, I'm sending such high frequency light to you now. You just have to look into my eyes, look at the picture that Tammy has selected. I asked her to select that picture on purpose because it doesn't show me as a queen in all my, or princess, whatever, I was meant to be a queen in all my regalia, but it just shows me as a simple woman who is letting the love of her heart shine through and out into the world. And really, that is how I want to most be remembered, as just a simple soul. I'm a simple, not simple like simple-minded, because a lot of people thought I was simple-minded, that I didn't have a mind of my own, that I couldn't think for myself, and that I needed others to make decisions for me. But they were so very wrong. They were so very wrong about that perception of me. Because yes, I was sensitive. As a child, I was very shy. I was very nurtured by my family, and I was kept very to myself sometimes. And I just played with imaginary friends and the fairies, and I liked to do that. I liked it to be that way. And oftentimes my family, my father especially, guarded me almost overprotective, too fiercely sometimes in his heart. I know he meant well, but this is all leading to a message. But I want to bring you up to speed on why and where in my heart I'm sharing this message from. And you could be or could have been a sensitive soul like me who really just likes the simple things in life. I don't need regalia or a crown. They are beautiful things to have and to cherish, but it's not what made me most happy. What made me most happy is oftentimes being alone a lot. I really loved being alone, even though everyone thought that there was something wrong with me because I wanted to be alone a lot. But I loved to be alone, and I loved spending time with the children. Children are my heart, animals are my heart, and our beautiful world is always in my heart, regardless of whether I am incarnated there now or not. So this message really has a threefold meaning. It's to honor your own sensitive self, especially right now in these times of great change. The planet, our beautiful planet, is seeing so much upheaval and so many wrongs being righted and justice being served. And it is easy to get caught up in the throes of all of this upheaval. But my beautiful souls, it's not meant for you to wallow yourself in these things that you're seeing. It's best to set that all aside and allow yourself to be taken away to a place that feels right to you in your heart. If that means you just drop your phone down and go outside and outdoors, go somewhere where you can be around friends and family or other friends and family, and just bask in the joy of childlike wonder and joy. The joy of joy. It's the joy of joy. So I'm going to stop there because I want Tammy to draw a card for you from this deck with the crown on it, because I want to talk about that. Okay, so I'm going to see what card she's going to draw for us. So it is the Tower card, and in this deck, the Tower card is unplug and relax for a spell. And it has a picture of a woman kind of doing like a headstand. Oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. Against a wall with crystals and like a little tea. Oh, it's so cute. She's on a yoga mat, and she's got a little warm tea and some flowers and some crystals around her. And it's the card number 3. So this is, back to Diana, the first of 3 messages that I want to share with you about finding joy. It is in the little things, as this card that Tammy has chosen for us conveys. It's the simple little things where you will find the most joy. Now granted, on this card, this woman is not outside. And if I had drawn this picture, I would have put her outside up against a tree doing a headstand with crystals and fairies and gnomes and children playing in the background. And I would have said, this is one of the places and spaces where you can be the most joyful, where your heart can open up to the power of the trees, nature, elementals, fairies, and just the fun of being in a place that you enjoy, and wherever that might be for you. For me, it was oftentimes stealing away to go into the woods and try to be by myself as Diana, to contemplate and be alone. It was very difficult for me to get outside of the palace or get outside or away from the royal family to just be by myself. I was always, to be followed by someone who was to ensure that I was safe and protected and guarded. And that someone was often a soul who meant well but did not understand me. And so it was a challenge at times to really be out there by myself, fully embracing my own just divinity, not my regalness, not my princessness, but my own soul's divinity. And because I was shy, I didn't want necessarily other people watching me do some of the things I wanted to do out in the forest, like run and jump and play like a child. I really just wished in that lifetime that I could have stood up for myself a little bit more and set stronger boundaries around what I needed in order to feel good. And that is the message that I deliver to you in this first of 3 about finding your joy, is standing up for yourself, honoring your own needs, your own self-care, your own desires, and putting up as strong a boundary as you're able to hold around not letting others take that away from you. So that's all I'm going to say in that message. And I want Tammy to draw another card now. Okay, I'm going to draw another card. The next card I'm drawing is card number 18. It's called Tree, Let Them Go. And it's a woman sitting in a very pretty little dress outside at, almost looks like at night. And she's sitting in front of a tree that is on fire. But it does say let them go. So let's see what Diana wants to say about that. It's often necessary in your life to honor yourself more than you could at any given moment. To let yourself be first, even in matters of the heart. And there are many of you listening to this message who allow others to take over your life, to decide things for you, to do things for you, even things that you don't want done for yourself, because those people think they have your best interests at heart, which was where I was going in the first part of my introduction, where I was talking about my father and how he always thought he knew what was right for me and best for me. And did I want to be a princess? Did I want to marry into the royal family? I mean, who wouldn't want to be a princess? But I wished I had chosen my princess role more carefully. I wish I had been more involved in the process of vetting my prince. And I wish I could have stood stronger for myself and had a say in the final resolution of my life. So there were many, many times where I gave my power away. I gave it away to others who thought they knew better than me about what I needed for myself. And it put me in positions and in a place of power that I didn't want to be in. And I have many, I call them regrets, although in the spirit world we don't really regret. But if I do a life review of my life as Diana, I have many regrets about times when I did not stand up for my own soul sovereignty, when I did not push harder against others who thought they knew what was right for me. And so you don't want to wait until you've gone to the grave to right these injustices, imbalances against you. If you feel like there is someone in your life who has taken power over you, then in order to find your greatest and highest joy in this now, you must let those people go. You must not allow others to take dominion over you. You are a child of God. You are a divine precious soul. And you're incarnated on this earth for a reason. And it's different for each one of you. And it's not for anyone else to tell you what that reason or that purpose should be. And if I were to do anything differently about my life as Diana, I would not have let Prince Charles into my life. He meant well. He was a very dear partner. He was not always a very good friend or confidant. He didn't always want to hear what I had to say. And oftentimes when I did find the courage to voice my true desires, they were brushed aside, swept under the carpet, and I was made to feel as if those were not really something that mattered. And I spent the latter part of my life living that way and allowing that to be done to me. And the more you allow it to be done, the more it perpetuates, and the more that those instances come to you for you to give your power away. It's just part of the law of attraction or magnetism, or however you want to look at the quantumness of how that works. But the more I gave my power away, the more instances came up for me to do that even more. And so message 2 of 3 is, if you have any love for yourself whatsoever, the greatest act of self-love, the thing that will bring you the greatest joy, even if it could be very, very difficult, even if it could be leaving a prince, would be for you to step away, walk away, even run away as fast as you can. Set the intention that you will no longer put up with anyone trying to tell you what's right for you, tell you how to live your life, and taking your power away from you because you're giving your power away to them. Let those people go out of your life as fast as you're able to. Invite in your soul family, your spirit guides, your angels, the fairies, whoever you work with. God, ask for their help in letting these people go. Claim your power back. Ask Archangel Michael to stand beside you and ask for his help in regaining your power and your sovereignty over yourself. Because my life would have been exponentially more enjoyable. No matter how it ended, it would have been exponentially more enjoyable for me had I done that one small, simple thing. The last thing I want to do is draw one more card for my third message about my perspective on finding your joy. I'm going to draw. It blurs the lines between me and her right now. Okay, she's giving me card number 5, which is called Stars. It's 2 girls laying on like a little bed with all these books around them, and I guess they're just like wishing. They have like a little cosmos, like the Milky Way over their head. It's card number 5, and it says, you can manifest your every wish. So let's go back to her. You can manifest your every wish. What do you want, dear children, dear souls, dear hearts? What do you want in this life more than anything? Because it is not being withheld from you. You are withholding it from yourself. And that's going to trigger some people. It's going to be challenging for you to know and for you to hear right now. And there are layers and nuances to what I'm talking about, and you have to check in with your spirit team or your guides and ask them for additional messages about how you can walk that path to your every wish. But the end result, the ultimate high-level message, is you can manifest your every wish. And if you just start with that and ask to be shown how, if your intentions are pure of heart and for the highest good of all concerned, then every wish is granted. It is. And in this season of joy and magic, when you might be hearing this message, or anytime you're hearing this message, call in Archangel Chamuel. He's been a dear friend to me, helping me to understand what magic truly is all about. Because I didn't truly understand that as an incarnated person, an incarnated soul. I was led to believe by my family and by those around me that magical wishes had to do with money and prosperity and having things, having a fancy home and beautiful jewelry and clothing and cars and ornate gifts and things, baubles. They were just baubles around me. I didn't want baubles. That really was not my wish. And if it had been up to me, I would have manifested for my home. And again, it was up to me, but it wasn't, because I didn't know. I gave my power away to people who thought they knew better than me. But my wish, if you had sat me down as young Diana and said, Diana, what do you want the most? I would have said, I want to go into the forest, build a little home, a little cabin, a little getaway for me and the animals. A place where I could work with children and do healing work with children and with families. That would have been my wish. Of course, it never would have been supported by my family at that time. But if I had really understood the power of my soul, the power of my heart, the power of my dreams, I would have known that all I had to do was wish that wish to the universe, and God would have granted my wish. Would I have had millions of dollars in my bank account, royal jewels on my fingers, opulence all around me? Most likely not. I would have led a simple life, just like the simple girl I always wanted to be. Just like the simpleness and the pleasure of being in nature, working with our beautiful planet, sitting under a tree, holding a beautiful pet, seeing the smile of a child's face, and the love of a family. It's really all I ever really wanted. Not simple-minded, simple pleasures. These messages are always so good. Okay, she's pulling her energy back now because she says she's complete. Every time I do these channelings, oh my God, it's always so emotional. Messages are so good. Okay, I don't know if there's anything more I can say to that. So I'm going to go ahead and thank Diana. And if you want to work with her more, I would just invite her in. She's open to everyone. She's like, I'm the people's princess. But mainly, if you want to work with her now, she said the best place to find her is to seek her outside. Oh my God. Go out in nature. Find a soft space to sit down and just invite her in. Which is where she first came to me, was out in nature on a beautiful friend's ranch in a meditation. And she talked to me about working with people, or not working with people. She talked about working with children and animals. And that was a while ago, like 5 or 6 years ago. So let's go ahead and close this message out now. I hope you enjoyed this episode with our beautiful Diana. And we will see you again in the next episode. Take care, everyone.